start the discussion.
Good morning, everyone. Today, let us discuss why India is still in the developing state while other countries have already been developed. If you observe Japan is like a drop in the bucket on our globe, but it has already been 50 to 60 years forward in while comparing to the technology. So there are major issues in our India why it is still in the developing state. So today, let us discuss what are those issues and what are our opinions on that.
As you said, Japan is a developed country now, but it is more in technological terms than in economy. When it comes to economy, we will first hear the name of United States of America. We got our independence in 1947, and it's been 76 years since we got our independence, and we have been developing since then till now. And if we consider USA, it got its independence in 1776. It's been nearly 247 years. We can estimate it as 250 years. It is so after 2 centuries of their independence, they got this status of developed country. But achieving only one third of the time period of our India has achieved more than what it achieved in its first 70 years. So I think India is still in a better position than USA compared to the time period of independence it got. And I think we are still halted due to some major problems and issues which we will be discussing now.
The major cause is the birth rate. In India, there is a more population. During 2018 to 2021, a lot of population has been increased rapidly. And another problem is illiteracy problem and food shortage.
As India is developing country because there are many issues and reasons behind the lack of development criteria of India.
India is South Asian region and it is considered to as India is South Asian region and it is considered as a developing country. It has high rich heritage and rich cultures. Demographically speaking, India has a density of population and comparatively low life expectancy compared to developed country.
Present situation in India, still developing country. One of the major reason is population. Population. The
The major reason for India why it is a still developing country is the political issues. In the same family, the leaders are born because day by day and generation to generation they are led by the same family. So there is a no change in the leadership. The corruption also increasing in India. Because of these aspects, the India is still developing country.
As we now have different types of problems, there are some basic characteristics which can be considered for evaluating a country's economic status. And the first and most property that we use is per capita income. And coming to this, per capita income is nothing but the average income of a person annually in a country. And according to latest reports, in 2017, World Bank conducted a survey of which we got to know that India is in 138th position out of the 186 countries. So we are really very far behind in terms of per capita income, and we can consider our nation as having low per capita income than many of the developed countries.
As you said, the per capita income before 20 to 30 years, the dollar rate used to be equal to the rupees rate. But now, if you observe, the dollar rate is nearly more 80 times more than the R rupee. 1 rupee is equal to the 80 $1 is equals to the 80 rupees. So day by day, the India is going backward. Every country is going in a forward that it is increasing its dollar rate, and India is going in the backward. It used to be 70, 71, 72, and day by day it was going on decreasing. So this may be because of the more printing of money. As Dhanush said, the politics are the main reason behind our development. If the political leaders who help us to develop has shown the better investment or better ideas in our development, it will help us to develop our country. But as you see, India has already got relief from the kings, has already got relief from the kings before 100 years. But still, there are some political leaders whose families are ruling from the generations. This may lead for the monarchism in the country. So the political party system should be changed among the country for the better development of our India.
Illiteracy is also a major cause for the why India is a developing country. Because this illiteracy, there is no exports and imports among the agriculture sector. In our country, agriculture sector is the major plays a major role. If we export or import the crops and the paddy we get with a high income, we can increase the per capita income of the farmers and in villages also. This is due to the illiteracy and the uneducated people. So we government should allow some schemes to educate the farmers and the village people to increase our per capita income and make India as a developed country.
I will share why India is developing country. Responsibilities, inequality in India, and no high pollution in India. Lack of knowledge about right to freedom, right to inequality. We have to learn. Everyone should learn because India has to be developed country.
One of the biggest reasons to underdevelopment of India is inequality. The government has been not unable to solve this problem. Due to this inequality, there is a large gap between the rich and poor. And due to this, there are lack of opportunities between us. India has been making strides in these areas about industries, infrastructures, education, etc. This is because of India has highest.
In India, the major problem is caste discrimination. Most of the studying people are affecting due to this caste discrimination. The OCs and BCs are more affecting due to this caste discrimination.
If we consider some other basic characters, occupation pattern in the country also depends and affects the economic growth. So in India, primary occupation is agriculture. So we consider it as the primary occupation. And as we know, agriculture in India do not gain much of income. So the farmers are also getting low income in every year annually, and their income is drastically falling after each and every year.
As you said, the agriculture is the major occupation of our country. But we observe many developed countries are having agriculture land of less percentage in their country. Our India has the major agriculture land throughout our country. So the major trades among the people, throughout the world carries from our country of rice or wheat or agricultural products from our country. But nowadays, due to production of more subsidies like if we didn't have money also, the government is borrowing money from the World Bank and still on producing the subsidies to the people throughout the country. It is like it is producing the runamafis and many other loans to the people of farmers and others. So these type of cuttings or subsidies in our financial support, it is leading for the more tax production or printing of more notes through the revenue department. So due to this, our India is still lagging for the agriculture. At present, the most of the generation has showing interests for going out of the states or out of the countries. So many people are migrating from our country to other country by leaving our agricultural lands for developing. So by this, at present, if we observe, the agricultural lands are also being decreased, and there is a lack of food in our country. So recently, they have stopped the importing and exporting of food that is necessary in our country. So at present, the rice supply is only sufficient for us, but there is no more rice production, extra rice production for exporting for the other countries. So by this, it is stopping its export and import business from some of the countries which it is going to export. So by this, it is even decreases the development of our country, which we are taking or help, which we are taking a help from other countries. So like this, if the people do not migrate to other countries by leaving our own country, that may increase our wealth and our development. So the migration is also the major issue in our country at present among the youth.
In occupational pattern, not only agriculture sector, in private sector and industrial sector, the students are causing a major problems like lack of resources, like lower middle class people and poor students who are with a higher IQ level and merit, they are not even have a minimum laptop for studying and going to higher studies. Due to this, for example, the NASA, 14% of NASA scientists are Indians. This is the we can understand with this example, because lack of money and due to the higher corruption leaders, this was happened. So we should decrease the corruption and change the system, as we know that to give the opportunities to the merit students without using any references or recommendations.
Another major problem in India is child labor. In Bihar, the more child labor is happening. Some schemes should be developed. Like as central government told that some slogans "Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao," so that the children's students can educated in this world.
As you observe, even though our India is asking about the development of our country, but still there are many issues. Like if we take a small example like Nilagiri forest, basically for decreasing the energy usage in our country, the other countries, if we compare, they are already using the uranium in other countries for the energy production to decrease the usage of fuels in their country. But in our country, the major uranium production is from the Nilagiri forest. The government has already applied for the project in the Nilagiri forest. But then there is an entry of NGOs and other forest communities for the stoppage of the project and to save the tribal people. Even though the people want development and they want their places, they don't want to habitate from one place to other place. So if they want both from single place, they cannot get. So the people either should they be given the other place for their habitation, or there should be an alternation for that habitation for them. So like this, if we observe that for the development of some places, if the government is also providing the projects, the some of our communities or NGOs are stopping that for the saying about the people's sake. But those NGOs are stopping our development. So the people should think which will develop our country or which will not, and should take the required actions, and even the government should give the alternations for their livelihood.
Yes, as you said, it is one of the major concern, and I also think population affects the economic problems much. If we consider the case of India present day scenario, the population is increasing drastically, and currently we stand at the first position with 1.43 billion, that is 143 crore population, and we know that the resources are limited for any country, and same for as India also. As the resources decreases and the population increase, the literacy rate also will drastically fall. Due to this, we observe many further increase in population due to illiteracy, and this leads to high birth rate. This birth rate also, due to the illiteracy, many people are not concerning about their health. Health is also a major issue. So malnutrition is taking place, due to which from child, infants, and till the older people, many are facing many health issues. Due to health issues, we are facing increase in death rate. So we have to focus on decreasing it by providing proper resources for every people related to health, because health is the first priority to develop a nation.
These all are the one side concerns, but the major concern or major problem in our India is laziness. In today's youth, there is much laziness among themselves, because they have the knowledge, they have the strength to prove themselves, but the people are lagging due to their laziness among themselves, and they are dependent on others for their works even. So this type of laziness should be shortened among the students or the people at present days, that may lead for the development of our country.
India has been developed. India has been developed since past few decades. It has many issues and the reasons to undevelopment. As a responsible citizen, every student and every person has the responsibility guts to take over. And we, as a citizen, we need to improve our country.
Okay, as we observe, has many consequences and issues among the countries and states. I mean, among our country and states. So there are many issues, and there are many issues about us to overcome. So this will be only possible by our youth, and we should think about it.